Hi. Today, we're going to show how you can use Pandium's integration code generator to build an integration. This is a tool used by engineers at B2B SaaS companies to write the integrations their customers need quickly and with complete control over the code. Our code generator uses AI to write the code for you, but unlike other code generators, it is built on top of Pandium's integration infrastructure and our API clients. This ensures the code is going to work for you in production. In this walkthrough, you'll see a fictional example featuring Gorgias, which is a customer support platform used by e-commerce companies, integrating with Iterable. That's a tool that helps businesses manage their marketing campaigns. The integration that we're going to build could then be made available to Gorgias's customers so that those people can connect the two platforms natively from within the Gorgias product. This is a Pandium integration record that is between Gorgias and Iterable. It is pointed at Pandium's GitHub repo for integrations, specifically on the branch called Gorgias Iterable. However, if we look at that branch in this repo, there's nothing there. It's because we haven't even started this project yet. There is not a single line of code written. Let's fix that by using the integration generator. We click Start Repo. I want to work in TypeScript. We are going to tell it we want to use Pandium's pre-written clients for both Gorgias and Iterable, and we want it to make code that's going to fetch customers from Gorgias and create users or list subscribers in Iterable for each of them. When we click Start, it takes us to source control. Source control is the tool that reads the code on your remote repo and uses it to make a release that can be run on an instance of your Pandium integration. Here we can see a run of source control has just started. It's going to do that for us, except it's actually going to do even more because it's not just reading the code from GitHub. It is going to write the code that we asked for, make a branch for it, and push it to GitHub for us, and then make a release based on it. In fact, it should have already made that commit. Here's that new branch for us that didn't exist before. It's made that branch. We can look at the code on it right now. It's given us a Pandium YAML. The Pandium YAML is what you use to set up any configuration options for your integration so that different installations can behave differently. In this case, it's created a list ID config because every time you create a user or list subscriber in Iterable, it needs to be given a particular list that it's getting added to. So each user of the integration is going to be able to enter in an ID for a list from Iterable here. And here's the actual code for the integration that we asked for. This is the instance of the Gorgias client. It's using it to fetch customers. It transforms each of those customers into a user, an Iterable user payload, and then it uses an instance of the Iterable client to send that payload off to Iterable. We can see that source control is done building our release. That means we can start using it. We're going to look at this tenant. A tenant is an instance or an installation of an integration. This one is already connected to both Gorgias and Iterable. When we go to the Settings tab, we can update it to the release that was just made by source control. We see here's the configurations we were just looking at in the YAML. So we need to get a list ID from our Iterable account to put here. This is our Iterable account. You can see we have a list called Gorgias. Here's its ID. I'm going to copy that for us. There are no users or list subscribers in this list yet. But if we come here, put that ID in, and give this tenant a whirl, now we're going to run this integration code. It's doing that for us now. We can look at the logs of it here and see what happens. It is creating a lot of Iterable users for these different Gorgias customers it's fetching. If we come back to our Gorgias list in Iterable, now we see there's all these different users here. That's how easy it is to get going with an integration in using the Pandium integration generator. At the start, we didn't have a single line of code written, and now we have a working integration from Gorgias to Iterable. So what happens when you decide you want to build on or change or adjust the code that was made by the Pandium integration generator? That's easy too. Here's the code the Pandium integration generator gave us, but now it's in my local IDE, so we can make changes to it. In addition to adding that Gorgias customer to a list in Iterable, let's update the original Gorgias customer to show that it's been added to that list. I want to use this Gorgias client we already have here to do that. Let's see what methods are available to us. There's one called update customer. That looks pretty promising. And we see that the payload we need to give that method is called customers API update customer request. We can look at what properties that needs to have, an ID property and an update customer request property, which has a lot of optional sub-properties, including one called data, which apparently can have just about anything on it. So let's use that. In this data property, let's give it something called iterable list ID, and the value of that can be the list ID from the config that the customer was added to. And then we also need to specify that it's the Gorgias customer that we were just processing, which we want to get updated. And now, in order to run this code, we just push it up to GitHub and use source control to make a new release like you've already seen. And that's really how easy it is to get an integration going with the Pandium integration generator and then build on top of it using the pre-written clients. So whether you're part of an engineering team that's stretched thin or a product leader that's looking to launch integrations faster, Pandium will allow you to accelerate development and scale your integration offerings while maintaining complete control over your code.